Alright, welcome to another review, and you might be asking yourself why I'm doing a review for a drone that at the time of this recording is a couple years old by now. Well, one, I still think this drone is very relevant and still very useful today. Two, I think I might be able to give a different perspective on this drone, and I might have something to say about it that's unique and different. And three, I just really want to show off some of the cool shots that I've gotten with this drone. So let's get started. Alright, one of the main things that I was looking for in a drone was portability. I needed something that I could just throw in my bag, throw on my back, and throw in my car, and go. And so portability was very important to me. And when I found the DJI Spark, it was perfect. Like, look at how small this thing is. And this thing shoots in 1080p, 30 frames per second. I didn't need a 4K drone. All my cameras shoot in 1080p, and so I didn't need a 4K drone at the moment, currently, maybe someday down the line. And it also comes in this very handy styrofoam case that I also just throw it in and then just throw this in my bag. And it comes with a nice remote also that folds in on itself and holds your phone in between these handles. Also get the remote for it. You're not going to want to use your phone as the remote control for controlling the drone. It's not very good, and this thing is just very useful. You get a lot of control out of using these little joysticks. Anyway, when I was looking for a drone, I was looking in the price range of about $300 to $600. And so when I found this for $400, for one, I was surprised because when this drone came out, it was $700, or maybe even a little bit more. But for $400, I believe it dropped price because the market for drones just keeps getting bigger and bigger. DJI, the brand that makes this, is one of the leaders in like drone technology. Drones for public use or kind of public consumption, they're leading the charge in that. They make a lot of drones that are priced accordingly to what people might really want. And so when I saw that this one dropped in price, this one I knew was perfect for me. I looked at many drones in that price range. This one, from what I saw from reviews that I watched and read, this one seemed perfect for me. But after you set it up the first time, you get all like you hit check mark on all the things that it says to check mark on, like, yes, I'll be safe, blah, 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 I won't fly where I'm not supposed to, blah, blah, blah. After this initial setup of this drone, anytime I go out somewhere, I usually bring my drone. Even if I'm going out to eat somewhere, I'll have my drone, because after that initial setup, setting it up just to get a couple quick shots of like a city or a mountain or a sunset or sunrise is so darn easy. This thing is wonderful. I love going out and flying this thing because it's just so much fun. When I was first learning to fly it, I would always just be looking where it's going. I wouldn't be looking at the camera as much. But as you get used to flying it, you learn to trust that you are leading the drone where you need it to go and not running it into any obstacles. And so it kind of really becomes a very useful tool in my filming equipment. And so when I found this one, this thing really worked for me and really works well for what I mainly do now is vlogs. When I'm going out and hiking or experiencing something that I've never experienced before, getting those establishing shots, just showing your audience or the people watching you where you are, it just gives a whole new perspective and it's on something that could just be very simple. It just adds something. Another thing you're gonna wanna get when you get this drone is extra propellers. I went through about 4 propellers in the first couple weeks pretty quickly, because if you hit anything with the propellers, they'll crack and break, and so you're gonna want those extra ones. Another cool thing about this drone, I'll try and focus on it, is this is where the power cable goes, and the power cable leads into a USB port. And so when I'm going from location to location, especially when I'm filming at multiple locations, I will bring a power brick that can plug into a USB port. Typically it charges my phone, but it also charges the drone. And I use an Anchor battery brick, and for some reason, the power brick will charge the drone faster than me plugging it into the wall. And so when I'm going from location to location, I'm typically charging it in my passenger seat just to have it ready for the next location. But I highly recommend getting another battery also, just in case I didn't get the shot or want to get multiple shots. And also having that power brick helps a lot too. So a couple recommendations on what else to get with this drone. One thing that I really hope DJI does is come out with a Spark 2, because one thing that this drone kind of lacks in is its camera. It's a camera, and I'll try and show an example here, is when the camera is adjusting from like dark light to bright light, it's a really harsh transition. And so it might be mostly the software on the inside that can be improved, but it can be really improved. The thing I could kind of compare it to is the camera on your phone. You'll notice somewhat of the same thing. I think the software on the inside is somewhat similar to like phone cameras. And so that's just what I've noticed, and something that it can improve on. Like, other than that, the camera on it is fine. Like, recording on very sunny days or sunsets or sunrises is very nice. I love it, especially like when it's very bright. When the sun is shining, the quality on this camera is great. The picture quality looks amazing. But if I am to gripe about anything about this drone, it is that. It does very well in the wind, surprisingly. It's just, like, if it is pretty windy and you're trying to hold the drone still and just hover, it does kind of move around and have to adjust itself a lot to the wind. But that's kind of to be expected. The drone is small, with small propellers, and it doesn't have much weight, and so that's to be expected with this kind of drone. But if I am to think of any gripes with this drone, and the long setup time. For some reason, DJI has to, I think, jump through all these like legal loopholes and have to get you to kind of sign off on a lot of stuff to get you to fly this drone. So the camera, I guess, is the main big issue with this drone that you need to consider when choosing this drone. Other than that, this is a great drone that I think even a casual filmmaker could enjoy. It's a very good price. It's an awesome little package. Something that I could just throw in a bag and go is just something that is so awesome and so amazing. Hopefully, all the footage that I've shown kind of speaks for itself. This drone is a fun little toy. It can be used as a fun little toy or something that can get amazing wide shots of where you are for fun, or get maybe some cool pictures or something, I don't know. But if you're in the market for a drone, I highly suggest this one. I've looked at a lot of drones and this one really stood out to me and really works well. In my opinion, it works well for me for filming vlogs and like travel stuff. This one works well for me, and it might work well for you too.